Hey there, Neil Napier here. I wanted to shoot this live video for you to answer one of the questions that someone asked when I asked the question to them on Monday. I said, I'm trying to do blank, basically, or I'm struggling with blank, or I'm stuck at blank. So, just so you know, every Wednesday around, I'm going to set up a routine from here on that every Wednesday I'm going to be doing a live video going through one problem that someone brought up in the Facebook group, and I'll be answering that problem as well. Today, what I want to do. Okay, it turns out that if I move away, the broadcast gets paused. Okay, so here's the thing. I was looking at one of Jane's comments. Jane said, how do I get started with a membership site? And, or rather, how do I get my membership site going? And really, I can't go back and look at my notes this time, which sucks. But Jane had made a very, very long post, and because I might forget a few things, I'm going to go back and answer to her in writing as well. But here was a complexity in Jane's mind. So Jane wanted to create, okay, and I think I remember right there. Let me just go back. Okay, it was holistic, natural, raw, vegan lifestyle. Yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, exactly. Jenna's right. You just start, and for a lot of people, that starting point is something that holds them back from taking action. They just feel like it's a very, very big first step that they have to create, and it's not actually. I mean, when it comes to building a membership site, the very first thing you need to do is figure out what it is you want to do. I always start with a sales page. I mean, after all the audience research and whatnot, I always start with a sales page because you need to know what it is that you're going to sell, because once you know that, you can create something around it. A lot of people tend to first create the core structure and then they put it up on a sales page and they realize, oh, but I haven't overcome this objection. I haven't answered this question. So when you do that way, I just feel that you always kind of go back and perfectionism kicks in. So instead, if you can create a sales page first, it will really help you overcome any objections that your potential customer would have in buying from you. But Jane had a very specific issue. So what Jane said was that she can cater the course to a lot of people, to beginners, intermediates, and advanced people, and she doesn't quite know who to go after right now, or if she decides how to go after them for that matter. I'm going to tell you exactly what we did with my first 1,000 as well. And Jenna would agree with that because Jenna faced this herself. So, one of the things that Jenna was working on before we started my first 1,000 is contacting people and asking them if they would like to get involved in the group, if they would like to join and learn from us about how to build their first $1,000. And someone said, well, why would I even bother? I'm making 8,000 at the moment, right? And the thing is that Jenna made a good rebuttal there. She said that, yeah, I mean, that's great. Even if you're making 8,000, maybe you can help some people there. Or maybe you can actually learn a few things that you might have missed along the way and you can double what you're making at the moment. So, number one, I'll tell you this about people who are intermediate or advanced. You should never stop learning. They never stop learning. And as Jenna says as well, Facebook groups are free. It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is just come in, spend a little bit of time in there, and see what's being done, like in this group as well. So, when we started my first 1,000, I very well knew that people who are intermediate or advanced, they might not find immediate value in this group. They might look at the group name and say, hey, I've already made my first $1,000. I'm going to go to the next thing. But here's the thing. Whenever you're building a new membership site, you're starting from scratch. You need to get to your first $1,000. So no matter what you're doing in life, whenever you do something new, that first 1,000 is always a validation goal. A lot of people who signed up to my first 1,000, I asked them to comment, why is it that they're signing up? What would their first $1,000 mean to them? And a lot of people said that $1,000 would be validation that what they're doing is the right thing, what they're working towards is a good thing. So that validation is very, very crucial to anyone who's starting a new group. But like I said, a new project. Like I said, for us, we knew that immediately if we tell someone, make your first $1,000, we are kind of alienating the intermediates and advanced from the group, and that's okay. That's okay. Our sole focus with this group is to take young entrepreneurs, newbies, and get them to their first $1,000. For everyone else, I can go back and create a new group. I can make my first 6 figures or my first 7 figures. I can do something else about them. But this group is about you. So selectively, we knew that we'd be getting rid of, I would say, about half of the people that we could otherwise get into the group, but that's okay. So Jane, if you're listening in, I would recommend that you don't worry about trying to include everyone in at the same time. Focus at your biggest group that will see the biggest impact of what you're doing. All right? Jenna makes a good point as well. Jenna says if you can make $1,000, you can make 100,000 as well. So Jane, what I want you to do is, if you're wondering whether you should bring in, say, newbies or intermediates or advanced, go after the group that you feel you can make the biggest impact on right now. So maybe if your strategies are such that if advanced people implement them, their diet or everything they do will increase by 5 times. But if newbies implement what you teach, it'll only make 2x the progress in like 2 months. Go after the advanced people. Build that reputation. Build that tribe first for yourself. Tribe that sees results with you. It's much easier for me to take you from 0 to 1,000. I mean, it's a shorter time. Not easier. It'll take me, let's say, if you really work at it, honestly, even without a list, you can get to $1,000 in 2 weeks. It can be done, right? From 0 to $1,000. I've done it in a weekend without a list, with just some reputation. So I know for a fact that you can also do that. You can go from 0 to 1,000 in a couple of days, in 2 weeks if you decide to. 100,000 to seven figures will take a bit longer, right? So I knew that the biggest impact I could make was in the lives of people who want to make the first $1,000. So we created that group. So if you're wondering about targeting, who should I target? I mean, there are many different ways to do that, and Jenna covered that very well in the niche research that we talked about on day one. But if you're wondering about who to target, then you can go after people in the lives of which you can make the biggest impact right now. So if you feel that you're more relevant to the intermediate group, go after them. Help them get results. And when you do, they'll tell the intermediates and advanced and also the newbies about it. If you think you can help newbies, go help newbies. They'll tell everyone else about it. So if you are struggling to start, if you're struggling to start because you don't know who you're going to serve, find one section of audience in whose life you can make the biggest impact and serve them. And if you make that impact, they will pay you. And they will tell everyone about it as well. Another reason some people struggle to start is because they're worried of failure and they're worried about success. I mean, really, some people are worried about success. I've spoken to people and I asked them to just go ahead and start selling. They're like, oh, I don't have the product created. I don't have the support desk done. I don't have this and I don't have that. What if I make a lot of sales? What if what if it blows up? What do I do then? When you are starting lean, when you don't have a lot of money backing you up, then you just gotta take action. You just gotta do it. It becomes easier. People are afraid of feedback, but you don't need to be, because feedback is a good thing. Failure or success is a good thing, because now you know something that you should be doing more of or not be doing at all. So 2 key takeaways here. 1, serve the audience that you know you will have the biggest impact on. That's number 1. Number 2 is that you just need to do it. Like Jenna keeps saying, just do it, because when you just do it, you can worry about the consequences after. But if you push forward, if you get results, you will be happier. You'll come back in here next week and report, Neil, I didn't believe it was possible, but I watched this video and I knew it was, and I took action and I made my first $1,000. And like Mandy says, first 1,000 is the hardest, but trust me, when you get there, you'll be itching to get to 10,000. When you get there, you'll be itching to get to 6 figures, 7 figures, and beyond. And that's what I want for you. So, Neil Napier, every Wednesday, like I said, we'll do one of these. I'll go through one of the comments that comes in. I'll respond personally. So, follow this, take action, get results, and tell me when you get to your first 1,000. Take care.